be able to follow these aerial highways precisely, it helps to make sure that you know your VORs are giving you the straight scoop. As you know, there are 4 different ways that you can test your VORs, but probably the easiest and most readily available is to test them against each other. So I'll do that, and I'll start by tuning both nav radios to the Julian Vortac. I'll tune in the frequency 114.0 on the number 1 nav and identify the station. That's to make sure that it's on the air and that I didn't misdial the frequency. Next, I'll tune in 114.0 on the number 2 nav, and again I'll identify the station. Now, since the FAA regs require me to check the bearing error to the station, I'll turn the OBS knob on my number 1 nav to center the needle with a 2 indication. It centers with the OBS on 135. Next, I'll turn the OBS knob on my number 2 nav, and again I'll center the needle with a 2 indication. And it centers with the OBS on 138. So there's a difference between the 2 indicators with the needle centered on a 2 reading of 3 degrees. And that's okay, because you're allowed a spread of 4 degrees between the 2 indicators when you're checking them against each other. Now, it's not required by regulation, but I also like to check the VOR indicators on a from indication. So I'll turn the knob on my number 1 nav to center the needle with a from indication. It centers with the OBS on 315. Next, I'll turn the OBS knob on my number 2 nav, and again I'll center the needle with a from indication. And it centers with the OBS on 317. The difference between the 2 indicators with the needle centered on a from reading is only 2 degrees, and that looks pretty good to me. Next, I'll check the sensitivity of each VOR. Again, it's not required by regulation, but it helps confirm that your VORs are healthy. So on the number 1 indicator, I'll just rotate the OBS until the needle is on the outermost dot. It takes 10 degrees of OBS movement to do that, which is exactly what it should take. Then I'll do the same thing on the number 2 indicator. And again, it takes exactly 10 degrees of OBS movement to move the needle to the outermost dot. My VORs are looking pretty healthy, and that's the way I want them. But the job's not done till the paperwork's done. So now I need to make a record of my VOR check. And I keep a little spiral notebook just for that purpose. So I'll enter today's date, June 10th, 1999. And for my location, I'll put down that I'm 20 miles northwest of the Julian Vortac. I'll enter the difference between the 2 VOR indications. That's 3 degrees on the 2 reading. And then I'll sign it. And that takes care of my VORs for 30 days. So making sure your VORs are healthy and giving you good information is really pretty easy. But it's also pretty important because you don't want them leading you astray.